Hey everybody, Amy with AJ's Vintage Designs and Fashion Toppings here with a quick little tutorial. Well, not so quick. This is a big project. I did a new staging wall in my workspace and I wanted something industrial. I wanted it to look like aged, crumpled, old, distressed factory cement wall. And I think I achieved it. I will have close-up pictures at the end so you can really see the details, but I walk you through step by step how I got this look. And so I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Now make sure you click on subscribe and click on that little bell at the bottom so that you're notified every time I put up a new video. I do put up a new video every Wednesday, and so today is my Wednesday video. So hope you enjoy and keep on watching. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be doing this wall with spackling. I like the texture of the spackling. It's very light and very whipped. And I'm going to be adding some Dixie Belle Sea Spray in there because I want to add a little bit of texture to it, give it some grittiness. So I'm adding the sea spray, mixing it all together. And instead of using water, I'm actually going to add in a little bit of paint. I'm using coffee bean right there, Dixie Belle's coffee bean. It's going to color my spackle, and also it's going to help that sea spray mix in. Okay, and you keep stirring until you have all that paint mixed in and throughout, and make sure all that sea spray is mixed in. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're looking for texture. This is going to be an old industrial cement looking wall. I'm applying it with my putty knife. You can use any size putty knife you want. I just used what I had on hand. And don't worry about how, applying it perfect. I have it thin in some areas, thicker than others. I just get it applied on there so I'm able to create some texture, leaving some of the lines and some of the missing areas. That all adds to the character of the wall. So I'm going to continue to do this across the entire wall. Okay, and to add a little bit of texture, I'm just taking a large sea sponge. You can use any sponge to create the texture, and I'm just dabbing in areas. I'm not dabbing all over the entire wall, just in sections here and there, so it's going to look like broken up cement. And then I'm going to continue on working on the rest of the wall, getting the spackling, covering the entire wall, and doing my sea sponge wherever I need it. Okay, and now for some extra texture, I'm going to be using this Victorian Damask stencil from Dixie Belle, and I'm going to apply the spackle over that. Now, I have let my spackling on the wall dry for 24 hours before I do this, just so that it doesn't stick to my stencil. And I'm just applying that spackling with my little putty knife over the stencil, but as you'll notice, I'm not putting it over the entire stencil. I'm just grabbing areas here and there, little sections, points and corners. I don't want this to look perfect. This is intentional. This is for it to look like it used to have texture on the wall, and a lot of that texture has worn away. And so you want it to have that industrial, old, aged look. So imperfections are what you're looking for. So here we go. Let's reveal it. See? The entire stencil didn't come through. I only put it on certain areas. It allows it to look like it's just peeking through layers of cement and plaster or whatever look you're going for. It's just giving it that extra additional industrial aged look. Okay, now it's time to add some paint. Initially, I thought I wanted to use all browns, and so I'm using the Wiz applicator pad only for the size. It's a large applicator pad, so I was planning on adding the pine cone, chocolate, sandbar, dried sage, different earthy tone colors, and then just smooshing them together. Using that, there's a little terracotta there. But using that large applicator pad and just pushing the colors together, thinking that it might be a good industrial look. So I keep applying the paint, decided I need a little bit of darker colors, so there goes the coffee bean. I'm just, so far, not getting the look that I'm envisioning. I'm thinking I'm being a little safe. So I keep pouncing the colors together, and I just didn't think it was quite right. And so I felt like I needed to maybe do something a little bit different. The applicator tool does a great job to get a nice smooth finish, but it's not exactly what I was going for. So back to the drawing board. So I got an idea. I took bolder colors. I'm using a paintbrush. using my Dixie Belle Mini to apply lots of bold colors. When I talk bold, I'm talking about collard greens, the terracotta, the coffee bean, dried sage, and then putting them, not blending them out so much. I'm just applying them in sections, color blocking them, pretty much keeping those colors separate. And so, because I plan on putting paint over top of this. This is going to be the backdrop, the under layer of my next layer of paint. So I'm going much deeper and darker and bolder with the colors. So as you can see, all over the place, no rhyme or reason, just putting those colors on, and so that it will peek through my next layer, giving me that aged look that I was hoping for. Okay, now for the top layer. What I'm doing here is I'm very thinly rolling on a coat of dried sage. And when I say that, look at how I'm leaving some of those areas, the texture, so you can see that color underneath, especially in those highly textured areas. It's gonna give it that aged look. So this is dried sage with a foam roller rolled on very thin. I am mixing it ever so often with water on my roller to help thin out that paint and really show the colors that are underneath. Okay, now I'm taking a chip brush and I'm going to dry brush to bring out those textures of the stencil, of that sea sponge texture that we put in there. I am using a dry brush with a little bit of sandbar on it. It's a chip brush. It's just lightly dragging that brush with very, very little paint on it over all those highly textured areas to help bring them out. Now I'm going to add a little bit more detail with the Voodoo gel stains from Dixie Belle. They're water-based. The green is Bayou Moss, the blue is Temptress, and the brown is Tobacco Road. I am just taking my chip brush and lightly brushing each one of these colors over my stenciled areas and some of the highly textured areas to kind of give it that little mossy look, aged. It really gives more of an impact. Now here with the Tobacco Road, the brown, I'm being a little bit heavier with it, but I'm spraying it with straight water, nothing else, just straight water, spraying it with water and making it drip. That's going to give it that water damage look. It's going to really make it look like it's aged, it's over time. I'm just putting that Voodoo gel stain in Tobacco Road, spraying it with water, and letting those colors run down that stenciled area. It really does add to the character. Okay, well there you have it. This was a fun project and it's easy. It's a little time consuming, but it is easy. You can do this. Now, a lot of people will ask me what happens when I sell my house or if I move. I haven't figured that part out yet. I would have to sand it all down. But since the products I use, they'll be easily sanded with an orbital sander if I need to and be able to paint back over it. But I think I achieved the look I was going for. I'm really happy with it. Rustic, industrial. I'm excited to take some pictures of furniture up against it. And that's about it. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And also follow me over on Facebook. I do a lot of weekly tutorials over there on painting furniture and crafts as well. So that is AJ's Vintage Designs over on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm on them all. So follow me on each one of the platforms. Once again, I hope you guys all have a fabulous day and I really appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.